Hello and welcome to another episode of 3 Steps to Success. I'm your host, Jonathan Paula, and on today's episode, I'm going to show you how to piss off your loyal fan base. Specifically speaking, I'm going to show you how John Williams pissed off me, one of his loyal fans, at his recent Hollywood Bowl concert in Los Angeles on September 6th. And that brings us right to step number 1. Build a library of beloved and respected material. Now, for those who aren't familiar with John Williams, he's perhaps the most prolific soundtrack composer of the 20th century. With 45 Academy Award nominations, he's the second most nominated person of all time, behind only Mr. Walt Disney himself. He's responsible for the soundtracks of movies like Jaws, Star Wars, E.T., Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Home Alone, Harry Potter, Superman, the Olympics, and the NBC Nightly News theme. And like 55 other movies. That brings us to step number 2. Get 17,000 of your adoring fans to pay $20 apiece to see you perform these classics live at the Hollywood Bowl. Now, to understand where I'm going with this, let me describe to you what happened at that concert at the Hollywood Bowl. John Williams started off the evening by playing nearly an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop Harry Potter music, which would have been great if I gave a shit about Harry Potter. Or if all the Harry Potter music didn't sound exactly the same. Or if he didn't have an annoying British lady interrupt between every single song to tell us how great J.K. Rowling is. My friend Ezra came with me to the concert. He shares his thoughts on this matter.
Lynn Redgrave verbally jerks off J.K. Rowling for the first hour. Only a mind as brilliant as hers could possibly come up with the stories and tales that make Harry Potter so wonderful. Aren't you all glad you're here, listening to me talk about Harry Potter, when you could be at the cinema watching it for yourself?
For the second half of the concert, John Williams still didn't play any of his classics, sticking instead to bullshit no one's even heard of before, like the theme to 1978's Dracula, or the theme from Witches of Eastwick, and 3 songs from Catch Me If You Can. I mean, who's even seen some of these movies? It wasn't until the last 15 minutes of this 3-hour concert that John Williams finally started to play music that more than 10% of the audience had recognized. And that brings me to step number 3. Perform a nearly 3-hour set list that is not only entirely self-serving, but also completely devoid of any of the classics that made you famous in the first place. My friend Ezra, once again, sums it up nicely.
What do you have to say about John Williams? If I was John, what would you say to me right now?
I would say,
if I was
Mr. Williams, you're the most self-serving, arrogant asshole I've ever met, and your set list... Your set
Harry
list
Potter,
is...
and that doesn't play Jaws or Indiana
Your
Jones.
set list is the most self-serving cock tease thing I've ever heard. And you are a complete and total hack. And you deserve to get punched in the face really hard. Because you literally jerked us off for 2.5 hours.
Such a disappointment.
And then came out 4 times for an encore.
I got it all on tape.
Wow. You are really, really egotistical. You piece of shit.
Suffice it to say, John Williams, who is still one of my favorite artists and responsible for bringing to life so many of my childhood memories, completely and entirely disappointed me that evening. But there you have it, 3 steps to annoying your fan base. But of course, if you're not John Williams, the quicker approach would be to suspend your popular microwave show here on YouTube and come up with a whole bunch of crappy how-to videos that no one really thinks are funny. I mean, really though, it can go either way. Thanks for watching. My name is Jonathan Paula. We'll see you next time.